Okay, so let's talk about how to graph the quadratic functions in vertex form. And this is probably the easiest way you can graph a quadratic function, okay? If you can make it into this form, it's really easy. Okay, so let's look at what vertex form looks like. Okay, so if you have a function, f of x is equal to, you have a number in front, a, and then you have x minus h squared plus k, okay? Then that is vertex form. And this is the form that you get when you complete the square. Okay, they give you like a function in standard form, and you go through that complete the square process, it becomes this form. Okay, so when you have this, your vertex is at h comma k. Okay, and this number a here is just whether it's opening up or opening down, and whether it's stretched or shrunk. Okay, so I'll show you guys what I mean. Okay, so let's do an example. I'm going to do 3 examples with you guys. Okay, so f of x is equal to 2x minus 3 squared plus 4. So the vertex is this. The vertex is the opposite of this number. Okay, so its vertex is at 3, because opposite of negative 3. And then you keep the same number. Not opposite, but the same. There you go. So you have the vertex at 3, 4. That's the vertex. So I know it could be opening down or opening up. Okay, so I don't know or how wide it is, but I know the vertex is there. Now this number here tells me how it opens up or down. Okay, so the pattern that you guys need to memorize about a quadratic is that if x goes over by 1, then f of x goes up by 1 or down by 1. But if x goes by 2, then f of x goes by 4, okay, because it's a square, right? So using that pattern, you guys need to remember, normally I would go over 1, up 1, or over 2, up 4. And I would do the same for both sides, okay? But how do I know whether it opens up or down? This 2 here, if it's positive, it opens up. Negative, it opens down. That makes sense, right? And then what does the value mean? This 2 means you multiply the vertical direction. So instead of going over by 1 and up 1, I go over 1 and up 2. Okay, so this is the actual point. And instead of going over 2, up 4, I go over 2 and up 8. So here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So up here. So over 2, over 1 up 2, over 2 up 4. Okay, so there is my parabola, like that. Okay, so let me explain that one more time, okay? Normally, you go over 1 up 1. Because if there's a 2, you multiply the vertical by 2. So instead of up 1, I go up 2. And normally, you go over 2 up 4. Now you go over 2 and up 8, because you multiply the 4 by 2 and you get 8. So you do the same thing on both sides and you get the graph, and that's it. That's all it is. Okay, let's do a couple more and you will understand this a little better. I have f of x is equal to negative 3 x plus 1 squared minus 5. Okay, so my vertex is at negative 1. Remember, opposite of this. And the same as this. So negative 1, negative 5. So here's negative 1, negative 5. That won't work because my graph is too small. Let me make this positive. So then I'll bring it up. So negative 1, positive 5. Then it'll stay in the graph. Okay. So this number here tells me that I open down instead of up because it's negative. So I go down. and it's 3. So if I go down 1, now I have to go down by 3. So normally I go over 1, down 1. Now I go over 1, down 3. Over 1, down 3. Normally I go over 2, down 4. Now I multiply that 4 and I get 12. So I go down 12. So go over 2, down 12. 4, 8, 12. Down here. Same thing over here. Go over 2, down 12. So I'm all the way down to here. Okay, you always start at the vertex and you count. Okay. Oh, there's your parabola. One last one. Okay, my vertex is at 5, 2. Opposite of negative 5 is 5. Same as 2, so positive 2. So 5, 2. And this number is positive, so it opens up. Okay, so it goes up like that. Now, normally I go over 1, up 1, but this is 1/2, so I go only up 1/2, over 1, up 1/2, over 1, up 1/2. Normally I go over 2, up 4, but now I go half of 4, so I go over 2, up 2. Go over 2, up 2. And there is my parabola.